What's up, Picklebrains? This pod, we got 4 pickleball tips in 4 minutes. I'm going to let Austin start, and I am timing him. Once he stops, he stops. So if you have any questions at the end, let us know in the comments. All right, Austin. First tip.
So first tip, we're going to talk about a drop tip. And that tip is that you want to drop to the returner. And the reason that you want to drop to the returner is because they're transitioning forward, whereas their partner, is this your same drop tip? No. Okay. Made it seem like maybe you're like...
You got 49 seconds, though.
You want to drop to that because their partner's already established up at the kitchen. So you want to drop to the person that's running forward because they're not on balance. They're not in the optimal offensive position. So it's very easy to get it at their feet, and a lot of the time it will just cause an easy pop-up. So you drop to that person. This works best when stacking, when the team is stacking, because that player is going to have to run over across their partner, and they're going to be late getting to that position, even later than just a normal return where they're already on their side.
Nice. With 15 seconds to spare. Anything else to add to that one? You got 10 seconds.
To explain stacking. I'm just like
we would never get through that. Ever. 3, 2, 1. That was pretty good. All right. Nice work. Okay.
Drop to the returner.
I also have a drop tip. Okay, that was drop to the returner. I'm going to press start here, and I'll explain it to you. Timer's going to go off in 60 seconds. Okay, this drop tip is why are we letting the ball short hop? What do I mean by that? Instead of letting the ball bounce and catching it on the fall, we're catching the ball as it starts to bounce up, causing more errors. So what I've learned on dropping, and I know this would be a little bit easier if I had a ball with me, instead of trying to quickly catch that ball and hit a drop right as it's rising off of the ground, instead we let it rise, start to fall slightly, and you'll be able to see that your drop is a lot more consistent because that's a much easier ball to hit when it's falling towards your paddle than it is trying to let it bounce and ricochet off of your paddle. Does that make sense, Us? So short hopping, even with dinks and other things too, I don't know, it can be inconsistent. I know people like Georgia Johnson can make it a little bit easier, and they do like to do it. I just personally can't make it work.
Out of time.
Okay, that's 2. I barely got through mine.
No, that was good. You did it.
Okay, your next one is a dink tip.
Yep.
Tell me when.
When. So my dink tip is that you want to change up the pace of your dinks. A lot of the time when you're watching professionals play, because that's typically what you're watching, because you can just access them so easily, is they'll change up the pace of their dinks. So they'll go from hitting the dink at the apex, just a normal dink, it bounces, they hit it at the apex, to hitting a dink out of the air, to then hitting a dink right off the bounce. And they'll do this, and this is what causes so many errors. And this is what's really overlooked and a lot of people don't know about. Is you don't win by speed necessarily or by pace. You win by changing up the pace of your dinks. So I guess that is kind of by pace. But it's the pace of your dinks in the sense that your dink is going to still be consistent, but since you're taking some out of the air, it throws your opponent off and they aren't able to get into a groove and continue to smoothly just hit dinks over and over and over again. So changing up pace is a lot better than trying to beat someone with speed, if that makes sense.
Oh, I love that one, man. That's so good. I mean, when people see the same ball over and over,
it's easy to hit.
It's just easy. It's an easier ball. So sometimes even in practice, when we're practicing, we hit the same ball over and over, and I know I'm going over your minute, and then we get into an actual rec game or into a tournament, and all of a sudden we're seeing a bunch of different balls.
Yeah, and we're not ready for it.
We're not going to do well. So
also good to just drill that, like with your partners. Have them hit you different paced balls and drill with different people because different people hit with different types of spin, different types of pace.
Yeah.
They give you different balls.
We're breaking the rules here.
Let's hear it.
Okay, I'm going to jump on to the next one. This is a drive tip. Pressing start now, 60 seconds. Okay, I saw this one recently. Credit to Prince of Pickleball. I saw this one.
I love his page.
So
let's talk about his page.
I did another version of this like months ago, but it was a more difficult version. I put a string on top of the net. A lot of people are missing drives into the net, and that's because they're not aiming high enough. At least for me personally, if I aim right at the net tape, for some reason, I'm hitting that ball into the net. But if I aim a little bit higher than the net tape, I have a lot more consistent drives. And so what he did, I have 20 seconds here, is he put a bunch of paddles at the top of the net and kind of weaved them into the net. And so it was still straight along the top, but they were about this high. I mean, you could go anywhere between 3 and 6 inches above the net and aim over that. That way, at least you're not missing your drives into the net because you're giving yourself a little bit of clearance to hit a little bit higher. 60 seconds.
60 seconds. That's the thing with drives. If you're hitting them correctly, you're hitting them with topspin. And if you have topspin, you need to be aiming well above the net.
Yeah.
Because it's going to drop. If you aim it for, like you were saying, top of the net tape, it's either going to go in the net or it's just going to land short. It's going to be an easy ball for them to tee off on. So, got to aim high. Typically 3 feet, I would say. You aim? What would you say
3
you aim?
feet?
Yeah, 3 feet above the net.
Oh, wow.
I hit major topspin.
Okay.
So.
I'm usually aiming 6 inches, but Austin makes a lot more balls than I do.
What? Is that what you said during your explanation and I missed it?
Yeah, I'm usually about this high aiming, but
I thought you were saying the paddle is
I know you
over
meant
the
it.
net, and then you're going over the paddle.
yeah. So I would say that the paddle's probably this far over the net.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going over
the whole
top
thing.
of that paddle.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm aiming, and I'm still sometimes hitting balls into the net. So maybe I should give myself a little more clearance. But I just want to give these guys a bonus one. Are you good with that?
Mm-hmm. I approve.
We're going to talk about that same type thing on the drives. I'm going to press start here so it's not long-winded. And here we go. Okay, here's 3 tips to get topspin on your drives. It'll make it a little bit easier. Okay, the first tip is getting a ball, setting it on the ground, and practice scooping it over the net. So you'll bend over, set a ball down,
Okay.
and scoop the ball over the net. Okay, scoop the ball over the net. And then we've all seen this one where we just drop the ball in front of us, don't have someone hit the ball to you, drop the ball in front of you, and practice hitting the ball over the net. Drop another ball, do hundreds of them until you can, pretty much perfect that. And then I've noticed just from that motion alone of training yourself to do it, then take the third step of having someone hit you a ball, and then try creating
that makes sense.
topspin over the net. But the biggest thing is low to high. So you start by hitting them off the ground, and then dropping them low to high, and then someone feeding them to you low to high. It should help your drives.
Okay, my turn for a bonus.
Okay, tell me when you're starting.
Starting now. So this is a drive tip. And whenever you're leaning back and hitting your drives, you want to transfer your weight. Obviously, you can't lean forward because you're already leaning back. You're hitting the drive late, which I would say probably 25% of the drives that you hit during a match, you're going to be hitting them late, and you're going to have to lean backwards. And everybody says you have to lean forwards. You won't see the pros.
Say that.
Yeah, you won't see the pros lean forwards in all of their drives because they can't. It's not possible. They're running backwards to get to them. So when that happens, you want to put all of your weight on your dominant leg, on your dominant foot, and then take your non-dominant leg and swing it behind you as you make contact with the ball. Also, your motion is going to change from outward and upward to just upward. You just need that upward motion because they're bringing you all of the pace. So then you're coming upward and putting all your weight on that dominant leg as your non-dominant leg swings behind you.
I was just going to say 5 seconds and killed it.
There you go.
Okay, so that's your pod this week. 6 tips, 60 seconds each. 6 tips in 6 minutes. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments or if there's anything you want to add. If there's anything you want to add to the pod, we'd appreciate it. Comment below. And
See you on the next one.
Next week.
Bye-bye.